Welcome to channel Today in History. In today's video we will talk about the day. October 16th, Queen Marie Antoinette is guillotined, 1793. Daughter of the Austrian emperors Francis I and Maria Theresa, Marie Antoinette married the future King of France, Louis XIV, in 1770. 7 years later, when she was 23, she had her first child. 3 years later, she had her first male child, followed by 2 more children. The last, Sophia, died with just 1 year of life. Since her arrival in Versailles, Marie Antoinette has aroused criticism among the nobles of her own court. Frivolous and fickle, she was often accused of influencing her husband politically, supporting the more conservative sectors and benefiting Austrian interests. She has always been considered a foreign spy, more interested in carnal matters. She is believed to have had several lovers, and in wasting the royal coffers for her own benefit than in busily feeding the French people. France was starving, and its kings were oblivious to reality. The fall of the monarchy was forged within a few months. Neither Louis XVI nor Marie Antoinette knew how to see the scope of the changes that were approaching, thus causing their own ruin and losing any possibility of reconciliation with the people. The attempt to flee the monarchs only deepened this rupture. The Swedish Count Axel de Fersen, Marie Antoinette's lover, took it upon himself to plot the escape plan with a group of select monarchists. The royal family was supposed to escape Paris by leaving the Tuileries at night through a secret door. They only made it to Versailles, where they were recognized and arrested. When Louis XVI read the decree that obliged him to return, he said, "France has no more king." The Legislative Assembly had no choice but to submit to revolutionary leaders Danton and Robespierre. Unable to prevent the assault of the royal residence by the masses, she snatched the powers from the king and allowed him to be imprisoned in the Temple Tower. Marie Antoinette accompanied her husband to prison, showing a courage that enhanced her figure, and accepting with pathetic serenity the separation of her children and the execution of her husband in January 1793. Transferred 7 months later to the Conciergerie, the state prison, and closed in a dark, stuffy cell, coatless, guarded at all times by often drunk guards, his nerves were on the verge of breaking down on the eve of the trial. If at the trial of Louis XVI they had intended to keep up appearances and proceed with a certain impartiality, this was not the case in the case of the Queen. The trial was a sham. The 2 lawyers who defended it, Troncondu Coudray and Chauvelagard, young and inexperienced, presented a very poor reasoning, based on the few notes they could write. During the process, she was accused of having sexual games with her son, the Dauphin, heir to the throne, and at no time was it taken into account that she interceded for her husband Louis XVI to accept the Constitution. The court's deliberations lasted 3 days and 3 nights, and in the end she was found guilty of high treason as a widow Capito. She was guillotined on October 16, 1793, suffering the humiliation of being insulted and despised throughout France. Did you like the video? In the description you will find the blog link with the full article. Give an incentive by subscribing to the channel, liking, commenting, and sharing with your friends. Hugs. Until the next.